The rapper going viral for being too fat
endangered their lives in a lot of ways. Some of them are embedded in the streets, while others have crippling addictions to drugs and alcohol, putting them in a constant risk of overdosing. But for Dave Bluntz, the situation is a little different.
He's on a breathing machine.
Because even though he claims that he can't put down the cup, that's just one of the dangers that's facing him. While the walk could be a problem, it's his waistline that really has people wondering if there's a way back before it's too late. It's your boy Luesta, and today we're discussing the Dave Bluntz controversy. Recently, Iowa-based rapper Dave Bluntz has been making moves. Recently, he's appeared on prominent platforms like On The Radar and has steadily dropped 7 projects over the course of the past year.
Damn, that's
and
good.
Gradually, his buzz has been building, with fans enjoying his high-pitched delivery and melodic style.
The first time I saw him, he was trying to crowd surf, I think, or something about crowd surfing.
But the attention he was getting back then doesn't compare to the chaos that surrounds him now. Because after he performed his first ever show, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Immediately, Bluntz shocked everyone with the sheer size of him, and the fact that he couldn't even stand up the whole performance.
This is so unhealthy, man. Oh my God, this is bad. This is bad.
And as soon as the footage hit social media, everyone had jokes. One user said the notorious BMI. Others referred to him as the last chairbender and claimed the cup, but he gotta put the plate down. He was even dunked on by fitness.
So fucking mean. That is so mean. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, bro.
Influencers like Bradley Martin, who could barely understand how someone of that size exists, even unflatteringly comparing him to a notoriously obese Star Wars character.
Bro, he gotta go on a diet for real. I didn't think he was that fat.
Is it edited? Nah, that gotta be edited though. I think that's edited.
You couldn't even tell he was that fat in the radar thing. This guy looks like Jabba the Hutt, bro. It's kinda, anyways. Alright.
Left alarmed by what they had seen, hip-hop commentators scrambled to give their audiences the scoop on Dave, all the while remaining in disbelief over the situation that he's in at such a young.
Oh my God. Yo, you know that one girl that's suing Uber because like she couldn't get in the back of the car? I think she had a point. If he could fit, she could fit. There's no way. There's no way that works. There's no way.
Young age.
Oh, he's a lean sipper. How much I think he weigh? About like 300? Nah, more than 300. Yeah, probably like about 600 pounds right here. I don't know too much about him in terms of his come up story. I'm guessing he just got on with that one song. I think once he's gotten past that very small phase of, okay, he's new, he's going to want to make sure his health is good. And if his health is good, now granted, I think people would look at just like his size and be like, yo, bro, we can't lie to you and say this is any type of healthy weight, brother. You look more than morbidly obese, right?
Although it seems like he appeared overnight, the Davenport MC has actually been working towards this for a long time.
I feel bad, dude.
In a recent interview, he revealed that he's actually been cooking in the studio for 6 years now.
Stop cooking. Maybe that's the fucking problem.
Everybody told me I was crazy. You know, I felt like Chicken Little, but now I really feel like Chicken Little because the sky is really falling. You know what I'm saying? After such a long time attempting to reach big audiences, Dave should be
We can't use that verbiage in here.
Ecstatic about the position that he's currently in. But between the public's reaction to him and some persistent health issues, things likely aren't panning out the way that he hoped they would. Because for most people who've recently discovered him, the conversation is less about whether he has the talent to be a future star, but if he's going to live to see the age of 30.
That's scary, bro. Again, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong or something, but I feel like if you let it go this far, are you able to come back from it? Because this seems very dangerous. Like, this size does not seem healthy, bro. Like, can you even get it down? Like, how would you even start? You know what I mean? He's in his 20s, I guess.
As footage of his inaugural live show went wild online, he was unsurprisingly in for a lot of comments about his rotund look. But while Dave must have assumed that the internet would have had a field day with that, one thing that he likely didn't expect was that a hip-hop legend would be taking shots at him. Under a video of Dave—
Wait, why is Snoop Dogg talking on him?
Performing, Snoop Dogg came out of nowhere to give him some unsolicited advice. Well, put down the chicken wings and the Tata chips, nephew, and that chair gonna break soon. Get to the end of the cup. Clearly, this assessment from Snoop struck a chord with Dave because soon he took to Instagram to tell the Dogfather that he didn't deserve that and to
It has come to my attention that Snoop Dogg wants me to put down a cup. He also had a few other choice words to say about my first performance that were not, that's okay. Maybe it's just because Snoop Dogg doesn't know me that he decided to say those mean things about me. Well, Snoop Dogg, let me, Jesus, I'm not reading this shit, dude. God damn. Put some other parentheses and some commas. You got me dying out here.
Clap back at Snoop for playing user in the hood classic Baby Boy. I'm actually a very good guy. I take care of my family. I put my friends into positions to
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he's a good guy. He's just the easy punching bag because he's so big. You know what I mean?
win, and I'm
It's fucked up.
chasing my dreams
I guess it's
every
life.
day. Despite his best efforts, Dave couldn't put this behind him or leave it at that. So he took a bold step of dissing Snoop from the stage at Juice WRLD Day.
Hey, Chicago, do y'all have a problem with me sitting down on this stage? Exactly. Get the off my dick, Snoop Dogg.
Right off the bat, he tried
I feel like he's mad at the wrong person. Yeah, what Snoop said is kind of mean and but at the same time, brother, I mean, it can't be healthy. If you need a fucking, what is that, an oxygen tank and a sofa? I don't think you're in a healthy spot right now, bro.
to explain why he'd talk about a legend like that.
And as far as the Snoop Dogg, yeah, I mean, that's real. You know, I had got on the first altercation we had, I got on the stage and he said, you know, put down the chips, put down the all that other. And I'm just like, my whole thing about that, why I didn't like that was because that was a very proud moment. You know, that was my first time performing and I didn't do nothing to nobody. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just
Fair, very fair.
performed, achieved my goals, and
Fair.
that was a really proud moment for me. And so for me to get online the next day and to see people shame me for that, I don't necessarily feel like that's cool.
And for his part,
It's not cool. It's kind of fucked up. It diminishes his achievements for sure, but they do raise some valid points, and we can't deny that either. I mean, dude.
Snoop actually laughed it off.
That was funny. Go ahead, little homie. I mean, big homie. Do your thing, cuz I ain't f***ing with you. Have your fun.
Man, hold on. 1 second. Snoop should not be talking. Bradley Martin, sure, he's ripped. Hold on. Why we got Snoop Dogg talking? Why is Snoop Dogg... He hit some all knows. You don't get your ass on. Give him some weight, nephew. He's just a little upset. He wants some weight.
I apologize, this is still going on for me, cuz. I must be getting old.
But when you realize that Dave wasn't just sitting down again during this performance, but was literally hooked up to an oxygen tank
Yeah,
while
that's
doing
concerning,
it,
dude.
it's no wonder why the internet completely backed Snoop and agreed that he had a valid point.
Again, yeah, he does have a valid point. 100% he has a valid point. But again, you can't be mad if you call someone fat and be like, okay, you're fat. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's valid, sure, they're fat. You can't be mad at them for responding to you, though. That doesn't make sense. Why are you mad at him, bro? You called him fat and he said, F you old. Like, what are we talking about? That's it.
Because like y'all might not notice this, like he couldn't even hold his breath up long enough to sing his own song. Then like this girl came on whenever she realized that. You know, Snoop Dogg wants to
Damn.
call him a fat ass. Snoop Dogg's right. Snoop Dogg at the end of the day, he's like 50, 60 years old, still going around doing it all the time. This dude's never gonna be 50, 60 years old. He's losing weight. He couldn't even sing his
I feel like Asmund should not be talking about anything health. Did you see that? Anyone else?
song, even sitting down. Okay, he's 23 years old.
In the process, he even woke up catching strays from comedian
Holy
Godfrey Snoop's back.
This is not me putting him down, but I think Snoop Dogg was actually giving a f. Snoop's gonna say it his way. What did you want Snoop to go, hey, sweetheart, you gotta just... No, it's Snoop, man. Snoop put some laughing emojis there. Actually, he's paying attention to you. He's trying to help you out. That's the way he's trying to help you out.
I wouldn't spin it like that. I think, you know what I mean? If you do want to be helpful, you can't come off as in a constructive way. You feel me? You could say it in a way that isn't, you know, to your whole fan base and clowning on a dude. Because there's one thing trying to help someone and then one thing completely clowning on them and then spinning it like, oh, he's trying to help you. So I feel like that's some bull. That's what bullies do a lot of the times. They'll fucking clown on you and be like, nah, I was just joking.
Well, it's this woke society now. This
It has nothing to do with wokeness. We can all say he's fat. Sure, we can say he's fat. That's not a fucking problem, right? But like, brother, if you can't mask it, you can't say, oh, he's fat as shit. He's fat as shit. And then when he gets mad at you, you can't be like, oh, wow, no, I was actually caring for you and I was trying to be helpful. I don't think that's how it works, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's fat as shit for sure. Well, fucking big.
so-called fat shaming that is keeping people in bad health. I mean, I'm afraid for the guy. Let's keep it 100. You're on stage with an oxygen tank, sir. When you say get off your Let's be honest.
Oh,
Can you find it?
At the moment, it
That's
seems like
foul,
all the press
bro.
he's been getting is a double-edged sword. Because while he's reaching new milestones in his career, there's also a whole subreddit dedicated to mocking him rather than being made out of genuine fandom.
damn, that's fucked up.
Is there a human being long enough to make it through Dave's ass cheek tunnel? Besides that, Dave also can't do an interview without his weight coming up as one of the main topics.
I mean, he's fat as shit. Brother, like, I mean, I feel like at some point it's a part of your brand. You feel me? You're fat as shit. It is what it is. I know there's YouTube comments, Kenji, you can't say that. Brother, elephant in the room type shit, you know?
I'm like, yo, this dude's voice is angelic. It's crisp. It sounds 300 pounds lighter.
Right.
I didn't know it was you.
What do you mean 300 pounds light? How do you sound skinny?
Well, you just sound angelic. You just sound like...
I'm trying to see
he
if
got
I
my
should be
eyes.
offended by that or not.
Technically, you shouldn't. I don't think because
Okay.
that just means that you're able to sound so much better than you look.
Yeah.
He could be offended by it if he wants, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I would start throwing hands if I was him, but never mind.
So-
Despite the fact that he has 7 albums out and a viral hit with his track The Cup, alongside other notable tracks, music is generally not the first, second, or third thing that anyone wants to ask him about. Because across the board, they are more interested in his condition than anything else.
On your
Up,
song,
bro.
you said every time you fly, you have to buy 2 seats.
Yeah.
Is that all right? You for
That's real. Yeah, that's real. I gotta take 2 seats. Yeah, man. That shit is,
I was wondering, like, where do you shop at to get your clothes?
Yo, they're on his ass. Oh my God, they're on his ass. Give him a break.
like places online is where I get my clothes.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
You got like a plug, you know, that lace.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I
hell
see
yeah.
you always got the black and gray sweatsuit on.
Yeah, man.
Kind
You
of became
know,
like your image.
I mean, this is the only clothes that I really have.
Considering how long he's been aspiring to do this, it's obvious that music matters immensely to Dave. He's even described it as a toxic relationship and said that only his mom prevented him from giving up when he was ready to abandon his goals.
I threw the equipment in the garbage. Like,
Wow.
she dug it out of the garbage, put it on my bed, and she was like, you know, don't give up on your dreams, some shit like that. And yeah.
Kenji, be honest, would you ever ask some questions like this? Well, I'm not an interviewer, right? But I know if I'm interviewing this guy and pretty much like his whole talking point is about his weight, brother, I'm gonna have to like, if I was the interviewer, yeah, I would bring it up for sure. So I get it because they're doing it for views and it's what everybody wants to know. But like, as a human being, I honestly don't give a f, to be honest with you. I don't care.
Bro, like, after
I
that,
don't think it's healthy, but I do not give a f.
you know, like, I had to keep going.
Yeah. So did you wanted to quit back then? Like, what was
Yeah,
that
I
all
wanted.
about?
I've been making music since like 2018. I've quit and came back to that shit so many times. It's like I had like an abusive relationship with music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now, she stopped him from making music, but she probably didn't intend that he'd be treated as a sideshow attraction by
Yeah, it's
some.
kind of
However,
bro.
she likely takes pride in how he's being supported by others. Alongside the love of a whole lot of fans, he's had cosigns from Lil Yachty, and apparently there's even talk of them working together.
Yachty's good
First
people,
thing
bro.
Lil Yachty told me, just normal. You know, him telling me to get a trainer, me telling him, you know, get some new nail polish. We spoke on the phone, and the first thing he told me is like, you know, your music is really good. It's like, it's different. You know, I knew Juice WRLD. It reminds me of him, and we're going to do an album together. So you just have to keep grinding, and I can't wait to work on that album. And I said, yeah, me either.
Likewise, SZA has shown love to him on social media.
there's been a lot of big artists that have reached out and like just the other day, SZA, like my
Yo,
SZA. Hell yeah, SZA.
You did that video with
Fire.
Nirvana,
Yeah.
and she liked that video.
Yeah, she
Yes,
did. Yeah,
yes,
that shit
dude,
was
that is
fire.
huge.
I was like, what the yeah.
How did you think that even reached her? Because she doesn't follow Nirvana.
I don't know, man. People be saying I have a mythical For You page.
Someone said, I genuinely feel bad for him. Building your brand off of something so unhealthy is never good because when you want to be better, you're gambling on whether you can keep up your popularity. I think he is a good artist, right? I'm pretty sure people wouldn't listen to him just because he's f***ing fat. I think it's just a part of the image though, just like 6ix9ine's rainbow hair and I don't know, like who else has like an iconic image that's kind of just like damn near their brand? I don't know though, dude. I'm just a dumbass VTuber. I have no clue.
He's full.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
That could be what it is, man. But
Bro, I need to
yeah.
see you flick up with SZA. Like, that would be amazing.
That would be fire.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But amid all of this progress that he's making, the big problem is that the attention he gets from his weight comes with a higher price than just a few jokes. In recent months, Dave has been making repeated visits to the hospital, even trying to record from there to ensure that his momentum doesn't slow down too much. As he recently revealed, his health problems date back to his high school days, as he's always been on the bigger side.
Why were you in the hospital?
I had like severe asthma. I think I was at school and I passed out and they couldn't wake me up. And I ended up having like pneumonia, some
like that.
But as the strain of carrying that kind of excess weight continued to spiral out of control, he has already suffered life-threatening issues. And at the age of 23, Dave has already come back from the brink of heart failure.
Yeah, I made that song while I was in the hospital. So I was actually in my hospital bed.
Jeez.
My mom brought my studio equipment to the hospital, and I was cooking up while I was in there, learned how to walk again and shit like that.
Just kind of
had a catheter in, all that.
Mom,
why were you in the hospital?
Oh, heart failure.
Damn.
And if that wasn't a wake-up call, who knows what is? Over time, Dave has spent so much time in medical centers that even his dreams of being with one of his homegirls were crushed there.
Well, the first hospital room story that comes to my mind is, my friend Solar, I poured my heart out to her, and, she didn't feel the same way. Really hurt me down deep to the core. And it took a lot of time to get over it, but I think I'm finally over it now. I'm ready to get back in the field.
But alongside making music while he's there, Blunt suggests that he also tries to make the best out of a bad situation.
I either posted that, but I took that picture because I was trying to send it to a girl to get some sympathy.
Nah, he's lost some other shit. Is this a real thing? There's no way. Oh, I'm dying, girl. I'm dying. Please, let me see your titties, please.
Another sympathy picture. I had my grandma take that one for me. She came to visit me and I was like, I need to get these pictures from a different angle to really capture the essence to get
this
more
guy
sympathy.
is crazy.
As much as he's tried to be comical about it, it's clear that he isn't capable of grinding to the degree that he'd like because of all these issues stemming from his health. But that isn't because he's happy with it or trying to be some tale of body positivity. In fact, Dave has publicly stated that he wants to change, although he is under no illusion that the problem doesn't lie with him.
Is that something that you struggle with, or do you just love yourself and you're like, F it, this is who I am?
Yeah, I'd say it's something I struggle with, yeah. But I'm working on it, you know what I'm saying? I plan, hopefully after this album drops, I can sign a deal and, then I'll have the money to, get a person.
Yeah, dude, I hope he blows up, gets money, and then gets healthy. And then imagine that story, bro. That'd be fire.
No trainer, you know what I'm saying? All that.
Do you like overeat, or do you have more like a glandular thing going on?
Well, it's not a glandular thing. I don't know what that is. But.
Well, it's like people it's either like you're kind of doing it to yourself, or like some people have kind of like a health condition.
I'd say it's definitely me doing it to myself, yeah.
At the moment, Dave's health is far from ideal. But while it is the most pressing issue he needs to address, it's certainly not the only one. Because alongside his weight posing issues for both his well-being and ability to be taken seriously, another problem for Dave is that there are some people who
I already know there's gonna be people in the comments mad as bro.
Oh, actually, you could be that big from health problems, and Kenji, you can't say that because
Still, his entire image is fake. Since he came out the gate, Dave Blunt has been sharing wild stories about his life. For starters, he claimed he was trapping back in high school.
First memory from high school, probably selling Xans in the bathroom. It was a good time in life. Really, when I think back to like good times in life, I think back to that time of selling Xans in the bathroom at school.
But he wasn't just selling narcotics. Just as the song says, he says that his claims that he can't relinquish lean is based on his own real addiction to the purple drink.
Is lean doing that to him? Does lean make you fat? Wasn't Lil Wayne just sipping on lean? I felt like that motherfucker was skinny. He was probably losing weight.
Don't go down the rabbit hole, kids.
Yeah.
See where it leads you. 600 pounds.
Wow.
And not being able to put down the cup.
Oh, so that's a real thing. You can't put down the cup.
Yeah.
Over recent months, Dave has built a lore around his life that has seeped into his music alongside tales of drug use. He also frequently raps about an alleged ex-girlfriend from a situationship that he remains hung up on by the name of Madison.
Definitely crying in the kitchen.
Crying in the kitchen, for sure, right? That's the one
that was about a real situation. That whole album was about a real situation.
What's lean? Nothing.
It's about this girl who had a situation with. Her name is Madison. It's like her new guy. His name is Julian. Yeah, man, that whole situation is insane.
Yeah, all right, because Madison name, all right, there's a few people that get name dropped a lot in your song.
And that's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his wild lyrics.
I know they don't have him flying through the f***ing air, bro. What the
Whether he's being homophobic,
I love all my niggas, but I promise I'm not a
or referencing a pro wrestler who murdered his
Everybody in the comments that was talking, go ahead, say something now. Go ahead, I'll f***ing wait. Put your asses up in the comments, pussy boys.
wife and son. But the real danger to Dave's already rocky credibility is that not everyone is happy to take his image at face value, and that's because there's a whole lot of holes in his stories. One prime example came with his alleged girlfriend that appeared alongside him on stage at Rolling Loud. After images surfaced of the two, an apparent DM leaked where the girl in question denied being in a relationship with Dave and couldn't believe anyone actually thought that. But despite her making no further appearances on his Instagram, Dave has continued to act like they're together in his posts and interviews. I had to find out if my bitch out here fucking. She's not. We good, by the way. Then, during a recent call to No Jumper, he doubled down on the relationship being genuine. However, he sounded very nervous about the prospect of her speaking out.
Come on, man. Hey, listen, no, I did not, man. I'm very respectful. That's my girl, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's your girl.
Disrespect her. Yeah, man, that's the love of my life, man.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know from the way you phrased the
So
first
you
part. I
been,
didn't realize
so you been smacking that.
Right now, anyways.
You been smacking that. Yeah, we definitely gonna interview
kinda
her.
feel
You
bad,
wanted
bro.
her to
I
get
feel
an
bad.
interview. She's made it to No Jumper.
But this is only part of the deception that people feel he's carrying out. Because to many people online, his love of lean doesn't come across as authentic, and they even think that he's exposed himself several times. These days, Dave is closely associated with the cough syrup. Apparently, he's even getting free lean because of it.
Since you got big making music, have you noticed that
He's
people
just doing a bunch of bad lean, smoking six. God damn!
more for lean?
No, the opposite. I go to these studio sessions and then like, here's a free pint. Just they're giving me free lean.
Dude, he's- I don't-
of nobody. They
Never
don't
mind, I'm not
do
gonna
that.
say nothing.
Yeah, that's. No, I've never heard anyone say that.
Like, I'm so serious on my life, on my mom's life. They just give me free lean.
That's fucking lit.
But even though he's always
lit.
pictured with the cup like an extra large Lil Wayne and wears custom tracksuits saluting his love of the purple, there is reason to believe he doesn't sip at all. For starters, he has knocked over his cup on podcasts several times, and
If there's one thing that anyone could tell is when there's a cup with no water in it, dude. No nothing in it. We can tell. The liquid density ratio of how you flick your wrist, we can tell, bro. That's one thing.
it always appears to be empty.
Don't come around me. Stop coming around me and my friends. Like, I don't want you around. You know what I'm saying?
For many, this seemed fairly obvious. This just in, Dave Blunts doesn't drink lean and water is wet. But it appears to be a shock to some, as now one of his biggest gimmicks is being debunked. Because around the same time that Reddit was waking up to this,
Madison not real?
he was exposed by No Jumper, who feel that there's just no way he could be sipping and still be surviving.
Is it confirmed that Dave Blunts really sips lean? I'm not saying that comically, like.
No, Mike.
Yeah.
He don't sip lean.
No,
I
no,
mean,
and he's honest
it's
about it
just
because
purple stuff.
when we did the interview
Right.
with him, no, it's the
Big
an
Mo
empty
vibe.
cup all the time. There's nothing in the
No,
cup.
I seen
ever.
something in the cup before, and it was purple.
When he did the interview, there's nothing in the cup.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've never seen him with anything
Is bro just gaslighting his fans 24/7? Dude, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
in the cup, and he's not even. He knocked his cup over like 8 times throughout the course of the interview, and it's like he's not even really like honestly the way his body is shaped, he cannot drink lean.
Oh my God, dude.
Let's be real. He's going to die.
All right, so
To make matters worse, his love of
Jesus
lean has led the
Christ.
Iowa rapper to be accused of jacking a style. In recent months, Dave has refused frequent comparisons to Big Mo, another heavyset rapper with a similar image, who was also known for his love affair with lean. Despite the obvious similarities, Dave has insisted that he doesn't know who one of the leading lights of the iconic Screwed Up clique is. But Houston legend Paul Wall isn't buying it, and says that he has to pay homage if he ever wants to be respected in H-Town.
You know, I mean, somebody coming from Houston, from Texas, it's you know, we see his whole style, which it looks like a junior Big Mo. Who Big Mo is from the Screwed Up clique. He was also large like that, had very similar hairstyle. Used to always wear the velour stuff, you know, velour suits. He had, you know, his whole stuff was purple stuff. He had a song called Purple Stuff album.
It's just old people talking about old shit. I don't know what the he's saying, chat.
Purple stuff. So when I see Dave Blunts rocking the purple stuff, rocking the velour suits, we see somebody who, you know, might have been influenced from Big Mo, but then he came out saying he never even heard of Big Mo. So us from Houston, we're like, well, how you don't never heard of him, but you got your whole style, sound, and look and everything like him. So I'm a little torn on how I feel about his style, but definitely when it comes to his health, I definitely want to encourage.
Who is this?
With so many question marks over what's real and what's fake, the effect of all this is that the general public...
Aren't you old? Do you think I'm old enough to know who Big Mo is? Big Mo? I mean, Lil Wayne, sure. Big who? What are you talking about, chat? I'm not that old. You're 57. I'm 58.
Just aren't buying it. After watching the interview, dude's whole life story is damn near a lie. Wherever you stand on Dave Blunt,
I don't get why this is like a huge talking point, brother. Like all rappers are liars, dude. Like every single rapper lies about something. They act like they're in gangs. They act like they been through or pussy, bro. Like what are we talking about? They just hang around people that done it. They don't do shit.
He is currently at the peak of his relevance to date, and clearly, many of those in the game think there's something special about him. For that reason, his current condition has sparked concern in fellow artists including G-Eazy, Sway Lee, and Jaleel, a rapper with the exact opposite build of Blunt's, who offered his assistance. Please gang, we need you here. Anything I can do to help, let me know.
What a nice
Stay
guy.
healthy, stay creative, block out the negative.
What a nice guy.
Even some of those who have had to stand idly by as a young rapper destroyed themselves with their vices have tried to get through to him. After he performed at Juice WRLD Day, Lil Bibby let it known that he was rooting for him to put down the cup. Despite the fact that he might be confined to a hospital bed right now, Dave still has big plans for 2025. As long as I don't get by a label and they only let me release one album a year and I plan on releasing 3 more albums this year.
Wow.
It's gonna continue that theme. The idea of me having a conversation with one of my haters. I plan on releasing a bunch more music. And I'm able to do that because my music is a direct reflection of what's going on with my life at the moment. I'm just a regular, and that's how it's gonna stay. But the issues Dave faces are twofold. As aside from the obvious issues of ensuring he's healthy enough to actually carry out his dreams, he needs to strike while he has the world's attention too. Because unfortunately, his size isn't going to be enough to keep people's attention.
True, the internet gets tired of it real quick. I seen a post on Twitter and he's gonna do some shows and apparently crowd surf. Bro, I'm telling you.
If they don't take the time to actually listen to his music. And as of right now, his vitality is tied to his weight.
Someone said, isn't he homophobic? We heard his lyrics.
And it's working to the point that it's expanding beyond hip hop.
This all kind of seems like it's intended to go viral. Like he's on stage with the oxygen tank. That doesn't seem like it's like an accidental thing that he's out there looking like that. So I feel like this has got to be at least partially a play, but it's like it's working unbelievably well because I'm even seeing like right-wing commentators. I swear I just saw like Matt Walsh of What Is a Woman of like, you know, the Daily Wire, basically like
he's living rage bait. He probably is, dude, right?
Attacking him.
It's like a Nikocado avocado, but just like rapping.
For not even attacking him, but just acknowledging like this is not healthy, this is insane, this is out of control.
To keep the world locked in, he has to urgently readdress that balance. Because it's gonna take a lot more than being viewed as a meme.
Oh my God, bro. I'm gonna give my final thoughts
for
at the
him
end,
to have
man.
the career that he wants. But unfortunately, he's still trying to combat that at the moment.
Yes, I am on oxygen currently. As you guys seen, I was in the hospital a few days before my Juice WRLD show, and they said, you're gonna need to be on oxygen, and you're gonna have to stay in the hospital. And I said, no, there's no way I'm missing this. Is there any way that I can do the show? And they said, well, if you take oxygen with you, we can okay you to leave the hospital.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, like, bro, I'm not gonna stop nothing from achieving my dreams and achieving my goals.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Above all, success is one thing, but your life is invaluable. And to be able to live any quality of life, Dave needs to take action before it's too late, as you've got some people giving him 2 years tops if it doesn't. And hopefully, with the support of so many renowned figures in hip hop, he can pull off the transformation that he so badly needs.
Wow, bro.
It's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Fire video, man. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, links in the description. I'm gonna give my final thoughts. A lot of people just like to talk. You know what I mean? They see a big fat dude and it's a punching bag and it is what it is. You feel me? My honest thoughts, I don't give a I don't care. Whether you could be fat, small, skinny, whatever. If your music's good, I'ma listen. A lot of people, like, they do this like religion where they'll hate on someone and then be like, well, God said that, like, this is bad, so you know what I mean? And they use religion as kind of a thing. And I feel like it's the same thing as like, oh, that's unhealthy. And like they start on someone that's fat as. But in reality, they're just trying to use someone as a punching bag. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if bro's happy, he's happy. He said he's not, so hopefully he could change his life around, maybe make some healthier decisions. But at the end of the day, it's his life. Who cares? You know what I mean?